to Facebook Live portal?
Oh, it
I
says
think it is. Yes, I think it is.
streamed.
Yay! Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Sacred Sunday blessings, bright beings of light and love. Got my phone here. This is what I do. I find us on Sunday morning, find you on Sunday morning on our Facebook page, Brentwood Inspired Living Center. And usually we're there. I know we're there. It's just taking me a minute to find us. So welcome in. It's a miraculous day to be together here on our Sunday morning Facebook Live. And my screen here in front of me shows me we're live. So I believe we're live, but I haven't caught us on the phone yet on our Facebook page. So I'm trusting that I will see you here momentarily. And then when I do, drop me a comment or an emoji or something to let me know that you're here and that you can see us and hear us, because that is very important. Oh, there we go. Found us. Hello, Michael J. Allen. Welcome in, everybody. Blessings, blessings. Morning blessings. So grateful to be here together. Yay, on another beautiful sacred Sunday. My name is Amy Van Ling, and I am blessed to be the spiritual director here at this phenomenal community. I do say so myself. We call ourselves Brentwood Inspired Living Center, and it's my joy to be here each week with you, sharing an inspired experience. We are a place where we invite all people to explore their path, their life path, which is also the spiritual path, to tune into the great truth of your divinity, to gain inspiration and show up as you, just be loved and accepted here. Our purpose is to be a safe environment for every single person to recognize their true essence, stepping into the divine beingness, the divine greatness of your divine design. So thank you for being here and allowing that unfoldment of yourself, and joining us in a place where you can, tune out of the world of appearances and external forces and all that is going on around you, and tune in to the power and presence that is never in absence, and open your hearts and your minds to receive the divine download today, for yourself, and then to share out into the world, because that's what we're doing around here. We're inspiring, sharing the love in the world. And I have my phone in my hand, as I do every Sunday morning. And this enables me to see your messages, see your beautiful faces if you have that on your profile picture. So chat with us and leave us a comment when you get here. Let us know that you're here. That is how I know that you have arrived. Florent says, good morning. Nancy says, good morning. So wonderful to be here with you. You look and sound beautiful. Yay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and tuning within. Good morning, precious souls. How I loved seeing all of you last week at the concert. That was so fun. And then this week, I missed you at the Peace Walk, but I saw some photos and that looked amazing. So grateful for the space that you held there. It was a full week, wasn't it? We had the Peace Walk and then the fall equinox on Thursday. So happy fall. This year is swiftly moving along, isn't it? So as we are traveling this journey of life, how are we holding the high watch out there in the world? I remind myself, we're light workers, we're peace bearers, we're love bringers, and love prevails when we choose love, right? So Ronnie sang last week the I Choose Love song. So we get that opportunity to choose love. Even when the ego tells us maybe we want to keep score and take names, we get to choose love. And then that's how peace looks, right? So good morning, Luinda. Luinda says, good morning, everyone. I am going to take my charger out because it was tethering me to the wall. Did you see me kind of? That was why. So now I'm here fully facing forward to all of you. Do me a favor when you get here. Let us know you're here, because we love to connect with you this way. Good morning, Karen. Karen is here. Thank you for joining us, spectacular soul beings. The theme for this month is promoting peace. And I once read something that Frank Sinatra said. And I often travel, so I'm always looking down out the window of the plane when I'm flying over the states and the cities and the towns from above. They all look virtually the same, really. You always see the high school football fields and then the neighborhoods and then the highways and byways and the cities crammed together. And so this quote expresses what I often feel as I do this little prayer as I pray over everywhere I fly, peering down at this other people's world. And so this is what Frank Sinatra said. He said, if you don't know the guy on the other side of the world, love him anyway, because he's just like you. He has the same dreams, the same hopes, and the same fears. It's one world, pal. We're all neighbors. So I love that. It feels like such a peaceful statement to me. So thank you, Frank Sinatra, for that. When I grew up in the Catholic Church, my favorite part of Mass was always we would be called to turn to everyone around us and shake their hand and say, peace be with you. And I remember just loving that part so much. Just having this whole echo of peace be with you through the whole church. Hi, Siggy. Siggy says, good morning, dears. Jim says hello as well. Good morning, Siggy and Jim. Nice to see you here. Bonnie is here. She says, good morning to our spiritual friends this beautiful Sunday morning from Bonnie and Robin. Nice. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I am so thankful for your presence here today with us. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. I am thrilled to welcome back Dr. Frederick Luskin today, a mighty force in the world of forgiveness and love and peace. He takes stages all over the world, speaking and teaching from his heart and soul. And knowing Fred as I do, as a close friend, this man is a remarkable example of walking peacefully through the world. And I am so grateful for your sacred yes to share with us today, Fred. Thank you for being here. We are blessed by you, and thank you for your time and your presence. We're tuning in with us on Zoom today, and we have the lovely, brilliant Brittany Gilmore. She is here gifting us with her precious being and her radiant essence, and we're so grateful when you share your time and your heart and your magical and magnificent music with us. Thank you, beloved Brittany. Brittany and I were chatting a little bit yesterday briefly about all the energy this month. And I had mentioned that I heard that there were 6 planets been in retrograde. And so for whatever that's worth, if your life and emotions have been in a swirl, take rest, because apparently October is supposed to be a little calmer. So we can lean into that. And we have our beautiful, blessed Jennifer with us. She is sharing her light, expressing her peace and joy from her soul and her heart, sharing our selected inspirational reading and our prayer of plenitude this morning. So Fred, Brittany, Jennifer, and I, we welcome you into this space, to our sacred Sunday morning, and to this space and place. As you enter in, I invite you to take that inward breath of the Spirit, which is my favorite definition of inspiration, that breath of the Spirit, and allow yourself to open up, allow that space. When we make ourselves available and empty in this way, we create that space for the divine surprise to drop in, whatever that might be. So notice what you can tune into today. It's fun to be seeking all the goodness in each moment. So we welcome you in with open hearts and open arms. You are a unique expression of the divine, and we invite you to be with that truth, and know that truth. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Bob. Nice to see you. Good morning, David. Good morning, Dave and Julie. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Michael J. Allen. He says, have an amazing Sunday, all. Love surround you. Yes. Pat says, hi, everyone from sunny morning in Oregon. So looking forward to Dr. Fred. His thoughts are so insightful. So welcome. Yes, indeed. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us. Yay. Remember that you can find all the details about what's going on here at Brentwood Inspired Living Center on our website, brentwoodilc.org. We also have supportive, informative, transformative weekly small groups going on. I invite you to pop right in. Some of them are in person in the East Bay, and some are on Zoom. So there's something for everybody. Those are all listed on our connection. Go to our page, and then there's the tab for connection, and then it's in the drop down for small discussion groups. So join us. We'd love to have you. And we have a praying angel team here, and we love your prayer requests. Our way is an affirmative prayer, which reflects the knowing that all events, circumstances, people, situations are here for us, here for our good, for our growth, even if by the world of appearances, it doesn't look that way with these physical eyes. Sometimes they can kind of distort things for us. So we're all about seeing beyond the physical. Our affirmative prayer focus on creating a vibration in the knowing that something profound and wonderful is unfolding in your life. So if you have a prayer request, send them our way, and we love to pray over those. You can also do that on our website. That's on the connection tab. Drop down to prayer requests, pop them in there, and we receive them and love them. And next week is our in-person service. So check the weekly connection that comes out on Wednesdays or the website. That'll give you all the details you need to know. We also have a meditation group before the in-person service at 9:35. I think that's right, Jennifer, on the patio. So feel free to show up a little early and join the group on the patio. Is that right? 9:30?
9:30.
9:30. So
Yeah,
jump in there.
9:30 to 55.
Fantastic. So that's going on, and they're having an amazing time holding space for our community and for the world. So they would welcome you in. Okay, let's see who else is joining us. Welcome in, everybody. I've got my phone here. I see when you pop in with us. I'm so grateful to be together this morning. So let's get started with activating and enlivening our mission statement. I invite you to, however you do that. Maybe it's place your hand on your heart. Maybe it's just take a deep inward breath and exhale all that is, clogging anything up, and just center in and feel into our mission. We are an open, heart-centered spiritual community, honoring the one presence within us. And we welcome all to connect, grow, and expand in wisdom, compassion, and love. And so it is. Thank you for joining in with us on this mission of love in the world. I am going to hand the screen over to Brittany now for our first song this morning, which we call our community song. The intention is that we sing along so we can open up our throat chakra and get our energy moving and flowing, and singing opens our heart space too. So I invite you in. This is one of our favorites. I Am Light.
Amen. Thank you so much, Amy. And it's so wonderful to be here this morning, connected to all of you other light beings in the world. So yes, one of our favorite songs, I Am Light, or one of my favorite. Hopefully it's one of your favorites too. The things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am not mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of a dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. One more time. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Oh, I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Oh, I am light. Thank you so much for singing along with me.
Thank you, Brittany, for choosing that song. It's one of my favorites, and I know it's touches the hearts of many. So thank you for that reminder too. Reminder. Sometimes we need that little reminder. We are the light. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to hand the screen over to Jennifer for our inspirational reading this morning. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Brittany. That was so beautiful and definitely opened my heart even more. Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. Today's inspirational reading is entitled A Cup of Coffee. A group of highly established alumni got together to visit their old university professor. The conversation among them soon turned into complaints about their stressful work and life. The professor went to his kitchen and returned with a large pot of coffee and an assortment of cups, including porcelain, plastic, glass, crystal, some plain looking, some expensive, and some exquisite. The professor told them to help themselves with the coffee. After all the students had a cup of coffee in their hands, the professor said, "Did you notice all the nice looking cups are taken and only the plain inexpensive ones are left behind? While it is normal for everyone to want the best for themselves, but that is the source of problems and stress in your life. The cup itself adds no quality to the coffee. In most of the cases, it's just more expensive and hides what we drink," the professor continued. "What all you wanted was coffee, not the cup, but all you consciously went for, good looking expensive cups, and then began eyeing on each other's cups. Let's consider that life is the coffee, and the jobs, houses, cars, things, money, and positions are the cups. However, the type of cup we have does not define or change the quality of our lives." Moral: sometimes we fail to enjoy the coffee by concentrating only on the cup we have. Being happy doesn't mean everything around you is perfect. It means you've decided to see beyond the imperfections and find peace. And the peace lies within you, not in your career, jobs, or the houses you have. So my takeaway from this reading is that we have the opportunity to keep noticing where we're focusing our attention. And then we can ask ourselves, is where we're focusing our attention creating peace within ourselves? Hence, peace in the world. Hence, promoting peace. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Jennifer. I loved that. I appreciate you. Yes, definitely. Hence, promoting peace. Much appreciation and love for you. Okay, I'm going to hand the screen back to Brittany for our next song this morning.
Thank you, Jennifer. I love that story. And this always seems to happen. It seems to fit into the next song that I'm about to play. The cup feels like the situation of your life, and the coffee is the life, the you and your mindset and your peace. And this next song is a song I've known for a long time. I've changed the words a little bit to kind of fit our belief systems here. And it's called One Thing Remains. And that's, in all of the things that happen in life, one thing remains, and that is you and the love that you have inside of yourself. Higher than the mountains that I face, stronger than the power of the grave, constant in the trial and the change. One thing remains. One thing remains. Love never fails and never gives up. It never runs out on me. No, love never fails and never gives up. It never runs out on me. Love never fails and never gives up. It never runs out on me. Oh, love. Oh, love. On and on and on and on it goes. It overwhelms and satisfies my soul. And I never ever have to be afraid. 'Cause one thing remains. One thing remains. Oh, love never fails and never gives up. It never runs out on me. Oh, love never fails and never gives up. It never runs out on me. No, love never fails, never gives up. It never runs out on me. Oh, love. In death, in life, I'm confident and covered by the power of this great love. My shame is gone, and nothing that can separate my heart from this great love. And love never fails and never gives up. It never runs out on me. No, love never fails and never gives up. It never runs out on me. Love never fails, never gives up. It never runs out on me. Oh, love, love, Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Brittany. That was so beautiful and such a reminder for us,
For
Mm,
me as well.
beautiful. Never fails, never gives up, never. Love never runs out on me or you or any of us. Thank you for bringing that one to us this morning. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Jennifer, it's back over to you for our prayer of plenitude this morning and announcements. We thank you. We love you.
Love prevails, right? Yes, thank you, Brittany. That was one of our themes in a months past. So I love that. Love prevails. There is enough and to spare for my every need. That is one of my favorite affirmations. And from Neville Goddard, we manifest that which we are. So I invite you to focus your attention on the prosperous being that you are. And so let's support that vibration by connecting with our breath. So just take a nice cleansing breath to start with. And now breathing in love and light and holding it gently at the top. And slowly releasing as you connect through your heart space with our beautiful message of prosperity. We come together today, opening our hearts and minds to the one spirit, the light, infinite mind, knowing that there is only one power and one life, and that is the life of spirit. We affirm that we are one with spirit, and there is no one, nothing, that is separate from this oneness. We are one with that infinite mind that has created all that is. We know that the divine qualities of peace, of power, of plenty, of wisdom are already within each of us, and we embrace those qualities now. We step forward with love and anticipation, standing in the truth of who and what we are, saying yes to our prosperity, harmony, health, order, love, and our amazing expansion in all its forms. And with the greatest gratitude, we accept this transformation of consciousness for ourselves and our community. We know that it is done, and we give thanks. Now, we release, we let go, and we let spirit do its perfect work through us. We trust the universe to provide for us. It is done. And so it is. I invite you to take another nice full breath and just breathe into that vibration of beautiful prosperity vibrating through you. And now, just a few important announcements. Let's continue to spread the word about our incredible center and our voice in the world by liking us on our Facebook page, reading our weekly connection, watching and rewatching our Sunday services on our website and on YouTube. And I have to say, I'm a big fan of that because I love being able to go and rewatch. It's really great. And so check it out. And always checking our website for updates on events at Brentwood Inspired Living Center. And we also want to thank everyone who participated and volunteered for the Peace Walk last Wednesday, which was a beautiful event. Father Tom gave an inspiring talk, and John Shin's music was beautiful as always. Everyone enjoyed the walk downtown with lighted candles. And be sure, as Amy mentioned earlier, but another reminder for those who might have joined in late, to join us next week for our in-person service, Sunday, October 2nd in the West Island Room at the Antioch Community Center, beginning at 10 a.m. with a workshop following from 11:30 to 12:30. So come join us. It's really wonderful to be in person together. Excuse me. And then before the service, we have our meditation on the patio from 9:30 to 9:45. And it's a wonderful vibration of just sending out love and harmony to our center and to the world. So come join us for that. And also, please remember to bring your donations for Loaves and Fishes and your recyclables. So we'll be every month in the in-person service, we're collecting those. So please bring those with you as well. Really appreciate it. And last but not least, our big annual yard sale. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. So come join us on Saturday, October 22nd. It will be at 50 Sand Creek Road in the parking lot of our old stomping ground. And please save all of your goodies to contribute and donate. And we'll be starting at 6 a.m. setting up for an 8 a.m. starting time. I know that's early, but that's what we need to do because we can't get in the day before. So it's a lot of fun. It's a way to connect with community, to be in service, and just have a good time together. It's really great. So Nancy is collecting, has a list of those who are participating. So if you can help out in any way, please contact Nancy and she'll put you down as one of our participants. So hope to see you there. Thank you so much. Blessings and gratitude to everyone. Have a beautiful week.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for catching us up on all the info and all the things we need to be apprised of to stay connected and in motion around here. So thank you, thank you. I am going to hand the screen back over to Brittany for our final song this morning. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you. So this last song is a little different. It's a Christina Aguilera song. In the morning, oh boy. But it's called The Voice Within. I know that our theme is peace this month. And when I think of peace and being able to find that, it is trusting the voice within and kind of being able to cut through some of the clutter from the world around you. So this is The Voice Within. Young girl, don't cry. I'll be right here when your world starts to fall. Young girl, it's alright. Your tears will dry. You'll soon be free to fly. When you're safe inside your room, you tend to dream of a place where nothing's harder than it seems. No one ever wants or bothers to explain of the heartache life can bring, what it means. Inside yourself, and like your oldest friend, just trust the voice within, and you'll find the strength that will guide you away. You'll learn to begin to trust the voice within. Young girl, don't hide. You'll never change if you just run away. Young girl, just hold tight. Soon you're gonna see a brighter day. In a world where innocence is quickly claimed, it's so hard to stand your ground when you're afraid, and no one reaches out a hand for you to hold. When you look outside, look inside to your soul. When there's thank you so, so much for giving me a chance to share my heart and my music. And it's extremely, it's an honor and it's very therapeutic for me to be here and to be sharing this with you. So thank you so much.
Brittany, you bless us beyond measure. Thank you. Thank you for you and being willing to share your heart and soul with us because we feel it deeply. Thank you.
course.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Jennifer, for bringing your divine spirits, your bright light, your essence to us this morning. We love you. We appreciate you. The energy and joy that you share, we have received. Blessings. See you on the other side. We're juggling here, right? Okay, everybody, I am so full of gratitude to have Fred here with us. Fred Luskin, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Fred if you don't already know how amazing this man is. Frederick Luskin is the author of the best-selling Forgive for Good and Forgive for Love, and one of the world's leading researchers and teachers on the subject of forgiveness. He is the director of the Stanford Forgiveness Projects, a series of research projects that have validated his forgiveness methods. He is a lecturer in wellness at the Stanford University School of Medicine and department chair of clinical psychology at the Institute of Transpersonal Psychology. And he is a remarkable human being. And I am so grateful that he says yes to us to share his wisdom, his essence, his beauty, his love with us. I'm going to pray us in and then I'm going to hand the screen over. So I invite you to just move into this moment, however you do that, to come into the sacred center and just envelop yourself in this love of peace and community of consciousness. I invite you to take a deep cleansing breath and exhale all that is no longer serving your infinite nature. And we're so grateful for the presence of source energy that is here and now and always is present and never absent. We remember that our life is a prayer and that we are the embodiment of pure essence. We cultivate, we activate our infinite potential through our uniqueness, our peace, and our joy. We are here today to be the expression of spirit, of pure essence, to be the face of God, to be expressing uniquely, just as we are. And peace begins within, and we say yes to that revealing, to that evolution. We're so grateful for Fred today, and we open ourselves up to discovering more of who and what we be through his message of peace and forgiveness and love. And we bless Fred, and our hearts are full of thanksgiving as we release ourselves into this moment and embrace the great expanse of infinite possibilities. I release this word in love, for love, and as love, and so it is. Ashe. Thank you, Fred. It's all yours.
Hello, Amy.
Hello, Fred.
And hi, everyone. I don't really, I don't really care what people ask me to talk about, because there's a couple of core principles. If any of us ever want to get serious about a kind of spiritual pursuit, there's only a few core principles, and they're all difficult. And that's why very few people get serious about it, because they require personal sacrifice, and they require ego transcendence. And most of us don't want to go within 100 miles of either. Most of us start on the spiritual world for what we can get. We want God to give us whatever it is we think we need, or we want to improve our lot, or we want more peace. But that's just normal transaction. And something as unfathomable as spirit is not going to show up from normal transaction. It's just not going to play that game. It doesn't play that game. And many, many people get really disappointed that you can go to church, you can pray, you can meditate, and still have a crappy life. Because that's not what it's about. And what it is about is this word peace. So if you want to, or I want to have anything to do with spirit, and I like the song, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. That is the beginning of what any real spirituality is. It's the almost ridiculously hard determination that I'm going to try to be at peace no matter what's going on. And it's not that God is going to give me peace, it's I'm going to choose peace. And the entire, Bhagavad Gita and yoga, they're all about the mind, calming the mind down so that we can be at peace rather than needing the world to give us what it is we think we want all the time. So myself too, we're always choosing a lack of peace because we want to be right. We want to make it easy on ourselves. We want to get our way. We want things to work out. Those are all alternatives to peace. When you want peace, you want peace. And it's not, what would I say? God bless. We're not going to stop wanting what we want. But I listened to enough of what your group was teaching, and most of us don't hear what we're even teaching because it's too hard. It really is too hard to say, even that I have a tiny bit of faith in spirit, so I don't have to tell it what to do. And we're so busy telling everything what to do that we're not at peace. And so I know there's there's a tremendous transition from immature spirituality, which is what can the universe give me, to mature spirituality, which is who do I become and how do I become generous of spirit. I don't believe God needs more people with their hands out. I just don't. I don't believe that has anything to do with God whatsoever. Jesus, is not some guy who was given money and power and fame. He was crucified. And the reason he's like the most famous person in the history of planet Earth is how he dealt with being crucified. Not because he has an easy life. And it's my belief that that's not an accident, that at some level, every one of us will have one, if not more, crosses to bear. And that's when we know whether we want peace, or whether or not we want spirit, or whether we just want to have an easy life where we get what we want. That's how you know. Jesus's message was, this sucks. If you could take it from me, please do. If not, here I am. And I believe that's probably the only real path to peace, which is here I am. And it may suck. And in fact, I have a sense that the more spiritual we are, the more willing we are to sign up for suck. Because who else is going to do it? Like who's going to take the hard jobs, and who's going to Who's going to handle the difficulties, and who's going to feed the poor, and who's going to work with the sick? If not Spirit. Spirit doesn't need more people to take fancy vacations or eat out at fancy restaurants or drive impressive cars. There's plenty of non-spiritual people out there lining up to do that. Spirit wants us to renounce. To renounce the self so that there's peace. As long as the self is in there shouting and shouting and shouting, wanting to be acknowledged and wanting to get its way, we can't have peace. And we all know this. It's too hard to give up. We all know it. We all know that little baby in there shouting to get its way is not the voice of Spirit. So when I was, this is a little, I've said this at your church before, but Ram Dass has the best line on peace that I've ever heard, bar none. And he went to 60s peace rallies against the war or against racism. And he said famously, I've never seen so many angry people marching for peace. So if you want peace, you have to be peace. And that's what makes it so difficult, because it's up to us. It's simply up to us. When somebody says something to you that you don't like, can you be peaceful? When news you hear that you don't like, can you be peaceful? Most people can be peaceful when they get good news. It doesn't take Spirit for that. Wow, you just won the lottery. You don't need Spirit. We need Spirit when we didn't get what we want and we touch something deeper. Something that's okay even when we don't get what we want. That's why we need Spirit. Because the ego is happy when it gets what it wants. Spirit's happy when it's part of Spirit. And it's a fool's errand we're all on, all of us. We're all on a fool's errand trying to make life work out where we're all going to be dead. And so the whole thing's a fool's errand. We're not going to win this. We can enjoy it, and hopefully we will, but we're not going to win. One day, many days, you'll come up with things which are beyond your control. And simply having it work out the way you want will be impossible. And that's to me when the true quest for peace really begins. And it's not easy, and there's nothing necessarily pleasant about those dark nights. But that's what Spirit's peace, that's what it's about. Because again, remember, it's like being married. No, it's not. I mean, it's obviously being married's different, but like if you have a decent marriage, you like your partner's good qualities, but most people like your partner's good qualities. What separates a successful marriage is how you deal with the not so good qualities. So you might have 20 people who could like your partner at their best. but you may be the only one who loves them at their worst. And that's what makes long-term intimate partnership so precious and so hard and so important. It's not about just liking their good stuff, even though you want to like their good stuff. It's liking their tough stuff because you made that commitment to try. And the research on marriage is, all the fairy tale stuff is like ridiculous. The research on marriage is literally now, ask yourself if you can put up with your prospective partner's cost. If you can't, don't do it. No matter how cute they are, no matter how sexy, no matter how wealthy, if you can't put up with their cost, the marriage isn't going to work. And that's where the best research has ended up, which is no, they're not going to change. No, you're not going to get over it. No, all of a sudden, you're not going to have an epiphany. You're marrying a flawed person. Everybody is. Everybody's marrying a flawed pain in the ass. Do you want to, is this the problem set that you want to engage with for your life? That's the marital question. Do they have enough goodies that the answer is yes, is important. But the goodies alone don't last very long. You know, that introductory high of marriage where you need a crowbar to keep people apart from each other and you want to have sex 14 times an hour. Research has shown that lasts at max 3 years. The first profound love connection like that, the endorphins last at max 3 years, and then subsequent ones last less and less time. So you get a 3-year gravy train, max, and then the real human shows up. And you have to ask yourself, is this the problem set that I want? Or you'll have no peace. Because everyone comes with a problem set, everyone. Every aspect of life comes with a problem set. Again, the whole Bhagavad Gita is about, well, yoga philosophy is, can I train my mind without having so many addictive demands? That's the whole thing. You know, am I willing, do I want to be at peace? And that's the purpose of yoga practice. Is to still the mind enough so that we're not always arguing with our lives. And that's why this life is such a challenge. So spirit might be like hugely compassionate around our challenges, but it's not here to take them away, because this is the whole purpose of life, is to grow from our challenges. And again, many people want nothing to do with God or spirit. They just want what the world can give them, and that's fine. But those of us who make claims that we want God or spirit, then the tests become more obvious. And that, those for whom a lot has been given, a lot is to be expected. That's Jesus's message. He was given the kingdom. So of course he's going to be sorely tested. There's no free lunch. But the song that you guys sing, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me, I believe that that's the religious message. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. That's the message. And then the life practice is, how the hell do I try to live that? That's the life practice. But the message is, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And then you spend an entire lifetime, and maybe even multiple lifetimes, trying to figure out how the hell to make that manifest. But it starts with, there comes a point, I believe, in each of our evolutions where we recognize that we're tired of running away from life's difficulties and we want to face them because we're just facing ourselves. And that's a dramatic moment of spiritual maturity. And it sucks. It does, it sucks. But if we don't do that, then we just stay on the surface of trying to get what we want all the time. And then you just fight the whole planet because that's all the rest of the planet's doing. And everybody's fighting to get what they want. And it doesn't make a home of happy campers. And it doesn't lead to peace. So again, I love that song, but it's the really, let peace begin with me. You know, let there be peace of earth, but they can't until I have some. Because I won't find any. And that whole political thing of, you know, everything's wrong in the world and we have to change it. There's some truth to that. But we also have to make peace. You know, I know Jesus said, you know, the poor will always be with you, but I'll only be hanging around for a little while. There's always going to be shit here on this plane. And we decide when we want to stop fighting it. Because at some level we recognize that we need to be at peace. Because nothing else gets it done. But there's no timetable for that, and nobody knows it could happen an hour before you die. Or it could happen any moment. And it happens in little driblets, you know. Like, I'm tired of fighting all the time to get what I want. That's when you start waking up a little bit to peace. I'm tired of fighting just to get what I want, just to get what I think is right. It wears us all out. And we end up fighting with everybody. And again, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. That's where it starts, you know? Make peace with somebody near you. Make peace with yourself for a minute. Like it's not big stuff, but it's that central understanding that, like, whatever this thing of peace is, it begins with me. And it's hard. I mean, I'm way beyond the kumbaya spirituality stuff. You know, real spiritual people don't go on 3-month retreats because they want kumbaya. They want to face themselves. And they don't send religious orders into poverty-stricken areas because they want it to be easy on them. They want them to face themselves and look at all the ways that we don't want peace. So I will stop again with, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And that's enough for like 20 lifetimes. I mean, it just is. It's so hard to stop telling everybody else to calm down. You know, if you'd only calm down, I'd be at peace. That's our little mantra for the world. You stop, you calm down, you change, you do this, and then I'll be at peace. And it just doesn't work that way. It's much more difficult than that. And it takes one hell of a lot of humility to recognize literally what an asshole we all are. And that's part of the game, you know, is to have the desire for some peace and goodness strong enough to see ourselves a little more clearly. That is one tough task. Anyway, thank you all. You know, peace is a good thing. You know, it's like that it's like that Gandhi thing, and then I'll shut up, where this woman came to Gandhi and said, please tell my kid to stop eating sugar. It's a very famous thing. And Gandhi said, come back next week. And the woman came back next week and said, and Gandhi said to the kid, stop eating sugar. And the woman said, why didn't you tell him last week? And Gandhi said, because I was still eating sugar. And that's all of us. We're all still eating sugar.
Thank you, Fred.
Anyway.
Thank you for the message that you deliver. That's so authentic and spot on, and you don't you tell it like it is, right? And I love that part, because sometimes what did you say? We just have to face ourselves, look at all the ways we don't want peace. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right? To looking in the mirror and saying, what am I choosing? Where am I denying peace? So bringing
Ram Dass has one other unbelievably famous thing where he said, for many, many years, he thought spirituality was getting high. And then he realized, after trying every conceivable method to get high, that the spirituality was getting free. And that meant he only, I mean, again, we're still eating sugar, but he was at least trying to free himself, not get high.
Right. Right.
And that's a struggle for all of us, because there's nothing wrong with trying to get high, you know, feeling good. It's just that when the cost is we don't look at ourselves, that's a big cost.
Right. Well, what did you called it, you know, the difference between maturity, spiritual maturity and immaturity, you know, what did you say? Who do I become? How do I become? You know, that's really the question. Here I am. You said, here I am is the only real path to peace. Opening up. Spirit wants us to renounce the self for peace. I mean, these are big. This is like you said, you can take your lifetime, many lifetimes. It's like, this is not, you know, a conversation for a quick fix, you know. And so like Wednesday was the International Day of Peace, you know, so there's a lot of talk about peace and how this looks, and just continuing to bring it back to what you said. Peace begins with me. And we all have.
Just even wrapping your head around it for a minute is overwhelming.
100%.
I know, like that simple song, Let It Begin With Me, but that has so many implications for one's life.
Right. I mean, you bring up Jesus, it's like he's crucified, right? And like, what is that like? And then to choose peace.
Yeah,
amidst hell, right? Or seemingly hell. Wow. Yeah, this is a topic that we can never exhaust, I don't think. I don't think. You said the Bhagavad Gita is all about, I can train my mind. What do you say? Still the mind enough so we're not arguing with our minds. You know, I think that's what happens a lot, right? So like you said, there's a person, or it's on the news, and it's like, that's not what I want. That's not what I want to hear. That's not how the outcome. And so it's like this constant rough ground within. So what does peace look like? Hello, everybody. How are you? Let's chat. Michael J. Allen says, truth spoken. Pat says, always clear, deep, and welcome. Yes. Pat says, in spite of, not because of. Right. Michael says, I feel free today. Thank you. Yeah. It's a moment by moment journey, isn't it?
I gotta get going, Amy. It's
I know.
always nice to see you.
It's a pleasure. I'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Okay, everybody. Wow. Well, Fred left us with a lot to consider, and we could continue talking about this for a long time, and we just may. I jotted down a lot of what he said, and we can continue to explore, because the topic of peace is always one really at the forefront of my mind. And like I said, having just passed International Day of Peace, we can really look in the mirror, right? And ask that profound question. What did he say? Face yourself and look at all the ways we don't want peace. And that's really, we know this. We know that we are co-creating. We know that what is showing up in the collective, we are part of. And so we get to look at that. Say, how am I participating? What is my vibration offering to that collective? So thank you, everybody, for being here for this talk, for this transformation. That's really how I see it, a transmutation. Let me check in. I think there's another comment. This is a beautiful conversation. Yes, it is, Michael J. Allen. Thank you for being here. Oh, everybody, beloveds. Okay, we have our link open, our after service link. That's on our homepage, brentwoodilc.org. If you just want to pop in there today for community connection and chat, there isn't a workshop happening, but there's always a space to commune. So that's opened for anybody who would like to tune in there when we complete here. So I would just like to invite you, if you feel refreshed, restored, had a great remembering or renewal, feel revitalized by this talk of peace and remembering that we have the power, that the peace begins with us. So that means we have the power. If you were reminded of that and you enjoy this sacred container that we call Brentwood Inspired Living Center Community, please consider visiting our giving page, which is on our website, brentwoodilc.org. We invite you to share in this energetic exchange with us, which says, I support the mission of Brentwood Inspired Living Center. I support the message and the love and the peace that comes out of this organization. So thank you for co-creating with us. Our center is 100% supported by generous contributions. So I'm going to turn the screen up into our prayer of divine awakening right now, and I invite you to tune in, to speak this out loud, make this a declaration for your life, for your every moment. So here I'm going to share the screen, and which should come up with the prayer of divine awakening that you can speak out. It's a new day, a beautiful day, a new beginning. I embrace this day with new eyes, an open heart, expansive mind. I choose my vibrational frequency deliberately and consciously, harmonizing with life's events. I am receptive to source energy. Divine guidance and wisdom available to me at all times. I commit to serve unconditional love fully and completely. I move forward in a state of appreciation and extension of the one magnificent power and presence. I am sovereign, whole, and free, claiming dominion over my life as I go in peace and I awaken to my divinity. And so it is, beloveds. Oh, I forgot to mention something. Tonight, I get to share with Unity San Jose. So if you want to tune in with us, that's at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and I will be on there sharing a message. And I would love to see your face. The link is on my Facebook page if you want to join us there. So let me just check back in. Anybody else with last minute comments? As always, Fred cuts to the basic truth. Peace, or its alternative, starts with me, with you, with us. Indeed, that is so true. Luinda says, so much food for thought. Thank you, Fred. Yes, lots of food for thought. I appreciate everybody being here for this conversation, because you know what? This was this was a this was a deep one. This was a profound one. Look in the mirror, find out how even if we're saying we want peace, where is it that we don't actually want peace because we're choosing something else. So very deep, profound conversation today. Thank you for hanging in there with us. Yeah. I love you all so dearly. I will see you very soon. Remember, next week is in person, but we're still online. We're still live during that time. So continue to shine on, bright ones. Mwah. Much love, many blessings. The after service link is open for anybody who would like to jump on and have community connection. Blessings, love, love, love. Mwah. See you next time.